could have gotten into it. Sorry, mate.
That's all right.
Coming into the shot.
That's all right.
Everybody loves the sunshine. Folks get down in the sunshine. Everybody loves the sunshine. In the sunshine. In the sunshine. In the sunshine.
All right, how are we doing, everyone? We are back out at our Lulway project in the sunny suburb of Scarborough again. Lovely day. Seems to be the theme whenever we bring John and the crew out here. It's been probably 2-ish weeks, I think, maybe 3 since you were out last. We've had a fair bit going on. This has actually been a pretty busy site since really breaking ground here, which has been quite nice. As you can see, quite a lot of our brickwork has gone up. This is our garage out the front with our curved wall, which will then have the green roof on the top of it. Sammy out at Brick Hub's doing a good job on that. We have fallen short on bricks, so he's left site for a week while we wait for some more to come in. We've also gone through and we have concrete core filled all our retaining walls that the engineer has required. That's all done, so we can go through and cap the tops of them in preparation for our deck and everything out the back behind the garage. We've got the guys out at 6 Star Plumbing and Gas. They dug up the whole front of the yard. We've now got sewer connected into the jump up here. Main water run into the house is also in from our mains water, over there. They are now inside all wet areas, powder rooms, kitchen, scullery, all that, doing all our tube out, putting in all our water feeds. What else? They've also done prelay for our stormwater, which is nice. Our Exxon crew, we've gone through, pitched the roof, done all our fascia boards, all the eave sheeting. Yeah, all in preparation for our Mantello. I'll go over that a little bit later. We have also had Arco out, and they have installed all our UPVC thermally broken double glazed windows. We're just waiting on a few more pieces of glass to come in for the bigger sliding lift and slide doors and the bigger kitchen windows. Other than that, roof plumber is booked in for 2 weeks. So Jer will be out, we'll get this sheeted, and then we're pretty much a lock up now really once a bit of glass goes in. On the weekend, the guys out at Chroma Painting, they're going to come through and paint our fascia and our eave sheeting before any of the gutter and any downpipes or anything like that go in. It's just a lot easier for them to do it now. It also means that any of our nail or screw holes from putting our fascia board on will get filled and painted. Just help it last a little bit longer. Other than that, we'll bring you inside, give you a look around. All right, we are in the kitchen at the moment. We've got this nice picture window, I guess you'd call it, out over the park. But yeah, you can see obviously 6 Star Plumbing and Gas, they have started doing most of the prelay. Got all our water pipes up in the roof, and then just before they go into the walls, we are going, 6 Star going through and insulating everything. That's part of what we're going to start doing now. Just helps with efficiency, helps reduce any condensation risks that might form on any of the water pipes. Yeah, it's just going to be a standard that we do from now on. Doing a really neat job on everything. Everything in the walls nice and straight, plumb, level, kind of tell where everything's running. Other than that, before the boys came out, I went through with Josh and we marked out all our heights on where we want our mixers, our spouts, our shower heads, sprayed it all in our pink paint and also marked it out. We've also gone through and put all of our room elevations from our interior designer. We have taped all those up in the relative rooms. We'll leave them up for as long as we can, and yeah, well, pretty much for the rest of the build now really. Just means that plumber, Sparky, Tyler, ourselves, anyone that's doing any work in any of these highly detailed rooms, they know what it's going to look like, where everything needs to be, and it just helps with efficiencies really. When we're marking out like all of our locations again for spouts, mixers, shower heads, we're also keeping in mind tile layouts, tile sizes, just so that everything, once it all comes together, all looks where it needs to be, everything's intentional, and just, yeah, looks good and seamless. So we are at a pretty rough stage at the moment, but we always need to be thinking about the end goal, the end game, about really producing a beautiful finished product for our client. We'll do the same, will happen to our electrical, gone through with Brett, who is our Sparky, and we've marked out all of our boxes, switches, power points, put them all off a laser throughout the whole house so they're all where they need to be at the same height. No surprises there. And yeah, as more trades come through, we'll keep on doing the same. Other than that, apart from the doors and windows that have gone in, there's not a whole lot to show you here at the moment. All right, I'm just going to talk a little bit about roof assembly that we are doing on this build. Underneath at the moment, you can see we've got our ProClimber Intello. That is Vapor Smart barrier. So that will deal with any moisture that's created with inside the building. It's also our airtight layer for the underneath of our roof. On top of that, we have our 2 layers of our Bradford HD 2.7, which will give us an 5.4 roof assembly insulation layer in our roof. That's within our 190 deep rafters, and then on top of that we have our Mintello Plus, which is our WRB, which is a big thing for our water layer and keeping our whole roof assembly and this whole house comfortable and healthy and mold free. You would have noticed last time you were out where all our underpurlins are, we had our starter strips. You can see now where we've joined onto those. We want to keep that air barrier, internal air barrier, continuous. So although it's been a bit of fun trying to take within all our ceiling joists and beams where we've had to penetrate it, put those in to keep it as continuous as we can at least. We are going to have to watch this over the next probably month, I'd say, as we did get a little bit of rain on the weekend, and although this Intello works really well with humidity and moisture that's created within the building, it's not really designed to get wet during construction, and from rain can deteriorate. So we'll just keep an eye on it and keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully we got lucky. Otherwise, if not, might have to do some sections of it again, but welcome to the game. We'll get you up, bring you up onto the roof now, and you can see what the boys are doing in terms of installing the Mintello Plus, which is, like I said before, waterproof membrane, or weather resistance barrier I should say, for underneath our roof sheets.
How deep is your love? Is it like the ocean? What devotion are you? How deep is your love?
All right, so we're up on the roof now, as I'm sure you can probably see. We've got our ProClimber Mintello Plus. That is a vapor permeable roof membrane, or WRB as well. We've then got a little 11mm deep packer underneath all of our roof battens. So these are what our roof sheets will get screwed to. The purpose of that batting is just to allow for positive drainage, so that if we do get moisture through our roof sheets, condensation build up, or any moisture between our roof sheet and our membrane, that just allows us to drain out into the gutters and out. They always say moisture down and out is what you want. So without those, with high chance of just getting any, like a little bit of pooling water, where all of our roof battens are. This will also help with venting this whole roof assembly as well, which who knows when, but when NCC 2022 eventually comes to WA or Perth, having a vented roof assembly, a few different ways to do it. This is the way that we do it obviously, but it will become code. We are just trying to keep on top of it, in front of it I should say, and building better than it, because NCC is pretty much the lowest building standard you can do without building a home that's illegal. So it's not really a good basis to go off. You want to be well and truly above it in all aspects, which is what we do try out at Exxon. Other than that, we've got our insulation below it. It's been a bit of work, but it's starting to come together. You can see the guys, the rest of our team, they're on the other side of this roof, cracking away. Hopefully get all of this done by Friday. It's Wednesday now. And then yeah, we are fully watertight once the glass is in. All right, one thing I wanted to mention with this is we sent all the plans and a detailed build up of this build to Carlos out at Energy Efficiency Perth, and he ran it through PHPP, which is Passive House Planning Package. Basically, I wanted to see how the NatHer star rating is relative to PHPP and where they sit together, because they do take in, there's quite a difference between the two softwares. So with the PHPP, I had to give Carlos details of all of our wall, roof assemblies, what insulation we're using, what windows we're using, glazing factors, thermal bridges on all of those, stud spacings, because you got your timber's obviously a different R value than your insulated sections. Same for the roof, walls, floor frame, even the old floor frame. It's very detailed, takes into account thermal breaks. Yeah, lot of detail. And pretty much what that spat out is it can give us details on overheating in summer or being too cold in winter, how much kilowatt hours per square meters we need in terms of heating and cooling demand throughout the year on this build. We can then also go through and find out what windows are weak points, what rooms are weak points within the build. So an example of that is our north windows in most houses in Perth are where you're going to get most of your heat gain in winter to help warm the building up, and then that obviously reduces your heat load through winter. This house, however, we've got shade sail and pergola over two of our north-facing windows, so they actually became what should have been a positive in terms of heat gain within the building. In winter, they actually became a negative. So simple things like that in terms of maybe the client was thinking about taking the shade sail down in winter to then allow sun to come through some of those windows. That's obviously an operable louvered roof system, so he can change those louvers up to allow sun to come into the room in winter. This big window here behind us, the big door I should say, is obviously our biggest heat gain in winter, and then it's shaded in summer, which is quite good. But it's just gives you the finer details so that you can alter or change your building probably a bit sooner than what we did, but in the design phase to make it more energy efficient and reduce the cooling and heating load on it. However, this home itself, once all said and done, needs, or like the heating and cooling load on the house is 3.7 kilowatts hours, which means it's an extremely small load. We'll probably end up putting the smallest ducted system in we can find into this, just so that all rooms get good even airflow in summer and in winter, keep them comfortable all year round. Yeah, pretty much this build as it sits, if we put a little bit of under slab insulation in this suspended slab in this front kitchen area, we could go for Passive House retrofit and get it certified, but the client doesn't want to go down that path. We were just more interested to see what the demands on the house would be and yeah, where it sits, and we were both quite surprised. It was quite nice. All right, over the next couple of weeks out at Exxon, leading the lead up to Christmas. Unfortunately this year I should say we've got nothing due before Christmas, so we don't have that Christmas rush that a lot of people are probably dealing with. But we will be focusing on getting roof cover on in here, getting all our main services in, plumbing, water, no gas, which is nice. Getting the inside ready to start render and gyprock in the new year. Well, obviously glass will be in by the end of the week and we'll be at lockup. We are going to be focusing on getting this brickwork up out the front here so we can get this concrete roof on top of our garage poured. We want to get that done before Chrissy. We'll probably start on the deck frame out here as well, and then we've also got the cemental cladding to do on the timber framed walls out the back. We've obviously still got our Waterford project, that's ticking along. We've got Jason Age, Designer Wall Render, they're out there at the moment rendering all the or texture coating all the upper story. They will be finished by the end of the week. We'll then paint the eaves, finish off a little bit of roof plumbing, and then we can drop the scaff out there, which will be nice. So we might get you out for the scaff drop. Other than that, we just enjoying a cruise up to Christmas this year, which is refreshing.